Hello, everybody. It's the Pearlo Wisdom Show where I work out my NHL bets for the day. And you guys sit there and tell me if I'm right or wrong or whatever you want to do. I like to use this more or less as my just way to hash things out while I'm copying. I find that when I sit down and just do it by myself, I don't know, when I vocalize it, I get much better leans. Like yesterday, I didn't do a show, and it wasn't the best day in the land for me. It was okay. I had Toronto, which I guess was, and I also had Buffalo, which I guess was kind of like a coin flip. But I don't know why I keep on going down back to Buffalo. They can't hold a lead. I should have had draws on both of those. So well, let's look at those. Look at. I got some time here today. I got a little bit extra time to talk about the games that happened yesterday and where I went right and where I went wrong. That's why I like to do these. I kind of learn from them. Yeah, Sabres versus Capitals. I did have the over, but the Sabres just can't hold leads, and I don't know why. I keep on thinking that they can. Luukkonen isn't all that great of a goaltender too. That's the other. That's why I like the over. So when I talk that out, I should be thinking, you know what? I don't know. Sabres was still probably the right play at plus money there. There should have been a better chance of them winning that game. But this young defense that they have, Yoki Haru, Power, like how young of a defense. Bushkin is like is like their most veteran defenseman. I mean, they're going to be great. It's going to be a great defense. But it's not right now, and the goaltending certainly isn't there. So I went with Buffalo. I didn't get it. I probably should have won on a draw because the whole idea with Buffalo is even if they are up early, they almost always let the other team in. And I wasn't sure if Ovechkin was going to play before I made the bet. I think maybe Buffalo has a better chance of winning this game because Washington plays way better when Ovechkin is in. And I'm going to start looking more at Ovechkin overshots from now on. Hey, how you doing, CL? Thanks for coming in, buddy. So yeah, I won't go too far into this. I didn't play many props in this game. Did Tuck get a shot prop? I will check that. Islanders. I had Minnesota. I took the Islanders in game at plus money. I was pretty sure Anaheim was going to put a fight up early. And I was hoping that they would get up a goal, and they did. And as soon as they did, I took Islanders in regulation at like plus 120. So my live bets bailed me out. I was down about a unit and a bit yesterday. And for me, that's not much because the day before I was up 26 units. High volume, high unit better. So people will. I might as well talk about this because I get in trouble for this playing these high units and it's poor bankroll management and all that kind of stuff like that. I'm really confident over the long period of time. This is the way I see it. If you're a good handicapper, you're confident over a long period of time that you're going to be up money. Like uber confident. And I am uber confident I'll be up money over a long period of time. So I can bet the little units and all that kind of stuff like that. But why not? I want to make people money. So for me, if you're playing with me, if you're playing on BPAL, if you come on to BPAL and you're playing on BPAL, if you see me put 6 units up and you're like, I'm not, like say your unit size is $100, and you say, I can't pay $600, then don't. Just play the 150 or whatever. Play a little lower as you normally do. You're still going to be up. But for people that have stacks to play with, you can go big with my picks, big, because you're going to be up over the long term. So you might as well be up big. Why not? It's a guarantee. I haven't had a red year since I started doing it. Not even close. Like last year I was 600 units up. This year it's been a tougher year. I'm up 150. But that's why I do high unit betting. I do high volume, high unit, because I like high volume because I find that I'm going to hit more than I don't hit in high volume. So why wouldn't I play high volume? Some people don't like that. Some people like the lower one. My VIP guys, I got a VIP group where I only give them like 3 picks, maybe 4 max, one to 4 picks. They're making money. Then that's all they want to do. That's all they have time to do. So just so you know, yeah, I have high volume. So when I'm down like a unit and a half, it's pretty much like breaking even. So I pretty much broke even yesterday. But I want to look at some mistakes I made so I learn. The Avalanche versus the Maple Leafs. I was on the under all the way up until I bet it, and then I went the over. And the mistake I made is I listened to the noise. Sometimes you just gotta be a contrarian and go with your gut on what it is. I thought that was going to be an under, and I ended up betting over. And that's when it pisses me off. That's when it pisses me off. When I listen to the noise and I go, you know what, they're 2 high-scoring teams, but I didn't think the Avalanche were going to go in there and try to run and gun and all that stuff like that. And it turned out I was right. I should have listened to myself. I also had the Leafs money line there, and I really thought Toronto was a good spot for Toronto, but the Avalanche came out and played well, and they got it. So, and that was the other one. I also liked to draw there, and I never played it. Wild versus Blues. I didn't play the total, but I did play the Wild. I played the Wild money line for 3 units, and I played in game. Again, I did the same thing, CL, with I did the same thing with the Islanders as I did with the Wild. I also played an in game when the Blues got up 1. I played the Wild in regulation for plus 140. And we hit that. Again, I had the over on the Islanders, but only for 1 unit. And that, I'm looking at that going, why did I only go 1 unit? I think that's bias. It's a bias towards Sorokin. But really, I should have been looking at it as the Islanders are looking for spots to get their offense rolling, and that should have been a spot, right? I also had Gibson over 31.5 saves. He didn't get it. I don't think I made a mistake on that because I really thought that the Islanders were going to shoot a lot. I just wasn't sure if they were going to score a lot because Gibson had been stopping a lot of pucks, but they did. I in-game the Islanders plus 120 and ended up kind of breaking even on the night. So, what did I learn from those games? When the Wild play the Blues, play over. Because there was a trend over for sure there. I just have a difficult time picking the Wild still because they went through that. And they were over team as of late. I don't know why I didn't play the over. I don't know. Have to think about that one. Okay, let's look at the games for today. Are you still in there? Are you still in there, buddy? Oh yeah, you have 3 views. Okay. Or no, are you still in CL? Or did you just drop by for a bit to see? Participants. Just me. Okay, that's all right. All right, next. Montreal, Florida. Oh, you're still there. Okay. Montreal, Florida. The first thing you want to do is take the over here, but it's a 7. And I was at 6.5, I was thinking about it. But the more I think about this game, let's look at Florida has really been trying to tighten up defensively going into the playoffs. Like Um, let's look at their recent games. But, I mean, they haven't been. They beat Chicago 4-3. They lost to Winnipeg 5-4. The thing is this is a team that if they want to do some shutdown hockey, I think Florida wins this game. Yeah, I do. It's hard to make a case. Montreal coming off that win against Pittsburgh, I suppose they can feel like they can come in with some confidence. But, I mean, they just lost more players. They already have an AHL lineup, and they just lost more players. I hope Allen is in that. I'll check that in a second here, but I can't remember who they lost. Like, you got Raphael Pinard Harvey. Okay, he started out well, came out gangbusters, but he's a little guy who's not built for the NHL. I think you're going to see regression from him now. There's a reason why he hasn't been in the NHL, and that's that he's got tons of skill, but he's just not strong enough. Suzuki and Jesse Ylonen. Denis Gurianov has been on a streak, and I kind of said that when he got traded. I was like, I like that move. I think he's going to get a good opportunity here. He's going to be allowed to make mistakes. He's not going to be second-guessing himself. I would look at him as a point prop, I guess, if I was going to do anything for a prop here. Jonathan Drouin up the middle with Josh Anderson. I mean, Jonathan Drouin is playing the most perimeter hockey you can possibly play. He's not going into any, like, not even close to the dirty areas. If the dirty areas of the ice literally made you dirty, Jonathan Drouin would be like, he wouldn't even have to put his equipment, they wouldn't even have to clean his equipment after the game. Like, that's how he's playing right now. So, with that in mind, I would really look at, you got Nick Suzuki, who's decent, and Jonathan Drouin. I would be looking, and I'm going to look at it, at the center position for Florida for shot props, because this is a terrible matchup for Montreal. Barkov and Bennett for shot props are probably really good here. They can basically do what they want, especially like going up against Jonathan Drouin. He won't even be there. He won't be anywhere around you. You don't need to worry about Jonathan Drouin. It's he'll be on the bench or like in the corner cowering or something. And then Rem Pitlick on your second line. Look at how small this lineup is. Holy crap. Tierney and Hoffman, who doesn't even know what the defensive zone is. And then Pizzetta, Belzile, and Anthony Richard. What did Anthony Richard do in the minors? Or how old is he? I don't really know much about him, and that tells you something. 26 years old, career minor leaguer. He's going to get a good opportunity here. Oh, he's put up some good numbers in the AHL. He's deserved his chance here, so good for him. Hope he pulls a point out or something. Michael Matheson was going over his shots, but he hasn't been as of late. But this lineup is just absolute ass. You have to figure Florida is going to come out crazy. I know they're well juiced, but I think I would take the -1.5. I mean, I think they own them too. Christian Dvorak is out. That was another guy that just got hurt. Chris Weidman, you know that maybe your career is going the wrong way when you're on the Montreal Canadiens and they have this defense and you're scratched. That's not a good move. That's not a good look. You might want to start calling some teams in Europe and see what kind of money you can make over there. But oh yeah, I wanted to look at the matchup more here. There was some pretty big trends. I'm not really a trend better, but sometimes you can't ignore them. And yeah, see, the total has gone under in 5 of Florida's last 7 games. And 4-2 in the last 6. But they've gone over in 6 of Florida's last 6 games against Montreal. I can see the over, but I'm afraid Montreal is just not going to be able to score enough in this game. That's the problem, especially with it being a 7. And I think if Florida gets up, I just don't. If Florida gets up, let's see what they got after this. And they likely will. Like, I would look at Florida first period puck line. That would be maybe a good play. Although Montreal usually is a pretty good first period team, so it makes it a little difficult. But they got New Jersey after this. I don't think that's an overlook since they need every win that they can get. But if they get up, there's no use like keep on trying to score over and over and over again. They'll rest their star players. That's the other thing about the shot prop idea that I'm a little concerned about. That if they get up like 4-1, 5-1, they're probably going to rest all those guys. And if they haven't got their shots yet, then you don't get it. That's one thing I don't like about it. But usually you get a pretty good performance out of Montreal. Like they have a lot of pride. They play hard. They can usually stay in it for a game and a half, or just over a period and a half, or just over a period. Hopefully enough that they're not totally destroyed by that time. But yeah, I think I don't really like playing puck lines too much, especially this time of year. But I think this one's pretty safe. I don't like the number much at -140 though. But I think I'm still going to play it for a little bit. I'm just not going to play as much as I normally would play on that. What am I doing here this week? How many days off Florida had? That's another thing. How come it's not changing this week? What's going on here? All of a sudden, it's not showing me this week. There we go. How many days have they had off? They've had a couple days off. So we can quickly look, I guess, at how Florida, I would say, like Paul Maurice is usually really good at preparing his guys on days off. And also on like road trips when they're coming home. I don't know what he does after like Eastern road trips or long road trips with a lot of travel. For some reason, his teams tend to win. And usually when they have long rest times. Okay, so here's one where they went 3 days and they played St. Louis and they lost. Then that was at home. Okay, and then on the December 23rd, so that would have been the Christmas break, they came back and beat Montreal 7-2. So that's a good sign. Here's a couple days here. Then they lost. That's not good. Oh, that was off of a road trip, though. And it was against LA. And they almost won it. So they kept it close. The January break came back and won against Tampa Bay. They had 4 days off here, and then they lost to Buffalo. versus Montreal. But they're coming off a loss to Winnipeg. Do you think Montreal can do this? I just don't. It's just because it's Montreal. I gotta fade them. I don't know what's going on with my. I may look at Montreal. Maybe I'll like 2-pick parlay Florida in regulation. They gotta win at least in regulation here. Maybe I'll look at that. Florida in regulation over Montreal. If you can't win against Montreal here in this spot with what they have on the line, the other thing that has me worried is they've had games where it's been on the line, like this Nashville game that they should have won against a weak team and they lost. Buffalo, weak team, lost. They did beat Anaheim, but barely. See, now against the tougher teams, Tampa, Pittsburgh, Vegas, and then barely beat Chicago. Yeah, I think I'll take them in regulation. I'll eat the juice and put it in a 2-pick. It's hard to trust Florida sometimes in these spots. All right. And as far as the total, I would kind of lean under 7. I probably don't. I'm not going to play the total. I'll probably live bet it. I'll see how and I think I would take Florida first period, though. They got to come out ablazing in the first period. I think I'll take Florida minus 0.5 first period. I think that would be my play there. All right. Tampa versus New Jersey. And I mean, I had New Jersey last game. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this. Because I had this inkling, if you remember that last time I did it. We did this. I was concerned that Tampa Bay would they could get up to beat down these guys, this young whippersnapper team, a team that they could be playing in the playoffs. They seem to get up for those games right now. Like they've been doing well all year, but now they're in that Tampa Bay's in that okay, let's get the playoffs started mindset right now, which teams that make the playoffs have won cups over and over again. It's common for that to happen. But I mean, Tampa Bay has a huge Tampa Bay really in New Jersey is 9-2 straight up in their last games against New Jersey, and 5-1 when playing on the road against New Jersey. And Stamkos will be back in. Miles Wood being out is not a good thing. Usually you like to take the team that lost the last one and the next one. It was a 4-1 loss. And Tampa Bay has really been doing good at suppressing shots lately. McCann over 2.5 shots. I already have that, actually. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. The bookies are not paying attention to him. I agree. Yeah, I already have that. Minus 135. They lost to Carolina. Beat Arizona, lost to Toronto. They haven't been losing 2 in a row very often, New Jersey. I think they're going to come. I'm going to lean New Jersey here. I'm going to go back to them again. They didn't play the great game. They were they seemed nervous the last game. Am I going to get any surprises in goal here? But I don't know if I'm going to bet it. By the way, Bobrovsky's been playing very well too. That's the other thing I kind of worry about the under. He's been playing his best hockey he's played in a long time. They're putting Vasi back in. I'm leaning New Jersey. And I kind of want to, if New Jersey's going to win, I think they're going to have to play to the over. I think they're going to give a better effort either way, though. No doubt about it. They're chasing Carolina. The hard part about these games with New Jersey is that they're a very young team. And young teams are really good at getting to a point, getting to a place where they're in it. Like they have a goal. Young teams are usually really good when they need to get to a goal. It's when they have now a game to get over the top. And, you know, they're chasing Carolina for that number one spot. I think it's really important for them to do it as a young team. And I think it's important to build up their confidence. But you got to do it to build up your confidence. You see, it's like, that's the thing. And the fact that you have to build up your confidence means that you probably don't have the most confidence because you're a young team. They're 2 points behind Carolina. This will put them in a tie. So it doesn't put them over the top. Tampa Bay, they don't really need to worry about anybody right now. Yeah, I'm going to say New Jersey. And I slightly lean to the over. If you think New Jersey, I think you got to go the over. But I'm not sure about it because Tampa Bay has been suppressing shots quite a bit, pretty well lately. So I'm not really sure about that. I'm not really sure about the total. Pittsburgh versus the Rangers. Pittsburgh, I believe, I heard they lost Jan Ruda, but if you go to, and it looked like he was going to be out. He went down hard and didn't look like it was good that last game. But I went, no, he's in. Jan Ruda is in. Bonino is out, though, and that's, to me, that's bigger. That's almost as big. And Christian Jarry, I just don't trust him. I'm not betting Pittsburgh. I don't know if I'm going to bet Pittsburgh. It's Kulikov that's out, and that is huge. Kulikov is one of the most underrated defensemen in the league, actually. It was a great pickup, and then he gets hurt. And overall, I don't trust their defense. I like the over here because if Pittsburgh is going to win, it's going to have to be an over for sure. How's the Rangers for shots against? See, yeah, New Jersey Devils are one of the better shot suppressing teams too. And Tampa Bay isn't, but lately they have been. So I could see another under there. I could see another under there, actually. I'm going to say under on that game. New York Rangers, shots against, not very high. Their shots against are pretty good. Pittsburgh shots against are terrible. And their goaltending is really bad, yeah. So, I'm going to take the Rangers here. I can't take Pittsburgh. I can't trust Jarry. I especially like over in the first period. That's probably pretty juicy. Maybe both teams to score first period. I think both teams are going to be ready right away here. That wouldn't be a bad look. But I like the Rangers and I like the over. The Rangers seem to be getting their offense in check here, and they're kind of an overrated defensive team. Series history has been to the over. The last times they played, the last time they played in Pittsburgh, it went to the under. Actually, the last 2 games have been under. Both of them in Pittsburgh. But in New York, it's been over Palooza. Yeah, it's been over Palooza when they play in New York. So, last 2 games have been under. I'm just thinking that the Rangers, if the Rangers are going to win this year, I think it's going to be mostly on overs. I think the Rangers team total over at 3.5 is minus 105. I kind of like that. Jari just hasn't looked good. Could he have a good game tonight? Maybe, but I got to see it because he has been ass as of late. And for that reason, it's basically for that reason more than anything else. Pittsburgh's going to be crazy up for this game. I could see a draw. I could see it just going back and forth and then ending up in a draw. But Pittsburgh is sort of safe in a playoff spot now. I don't know if their desperation level is going to be all that much. I think the Rangers just really want to get going for the playoffs. They got Kane in there, and there's a little bit of anticipation to want to see that really working well. So I'll take the Rangers on the money line at minus 128, and I'll take the over at minus 105. That's a good number for Pittsburgh Rangers over. I think that's a good number. Surprised that it is that. Maybe because the last 2 games have been 3-2, 3-2. Colorado versus Ottawa. They still haven't got a number here. I'm afraid it's going to open at 7. No, it does. Oh no, they do have it. I just had to refresh. Just wait. No, it's a 6.5 minus 122. Yeah, I can't. I want to say over here, but if you saw how Colorado played against Toronto, they could be they could be getting ready for the playoffs and just try to shut Ottawa down here. The thing is though, either Gorgiev's going to be playing back to back, and I don't really see Gorgiev as a good back to back game goaltender, or they're going to be playing Johansson, and Johansson is just absolutely horrible goaltender. So, where are we here? Where is it? Colorado game, where are you? Where are you? There. It doesn't say. Matt Sogard, I mean, the kid's just not, he's not doing it. Ottawa's coming off of an Eastern road trip, or Western road trip. They played a shit ton of hockey, right? Like, just tons. And they gave it their best shot, but I even think they, now at this point, the thing is you're going up against the Stanley Cup champions, and that's the hard part here. Ottawa will almost certainly come out hard. But I don't think coming out hard will mean coming out hard defensively. And although Colorado will probably shut them down, how many points are they out? They're out. Yeah, 6 points now. It's desperate times. And it will be desperate hockey. Oops. Colorado's on a back-to-back, and they played a tough one against Toronto. It's gone over 16 to 20 games. Yeah, I still think it's going to be over, though. I just can't trust Sogard to stop pucks If Johansson's in, they could be even a low shot game and still go over because those two goaltenders are terrible. There's series history. Colorado has them by a little bit. How much does that back-to-back really matter for Colorado? Yeah, 3 games in 4 nights. It does matter. It does matter. Ottawa's going to put up a fight here, man. But they just came all the way from Edmonton. If I remember correctly, this is a lot of games in a short stretch here. One, yeah, 3 games. They're playing 4 games in 6 nights. Sorry, 4 games in 6 nights, 5 games in 8 nights, and coming off of a Western road trip. Absolutely horrible spot. Although Colorado's playing 3 and 4 and had a tough one against Toronto last night, I still think they win this game. The question I have is by how much? Who do they play after this? Because Colorado still needs every win. And they play Detroit. That's a bit. Oh, they play Detroit too. Man, oh man. There's always something, right? It's never just, oh yeah, easy, easy. I just think an Ottawa team, they came off of they came off of a couple losses. I think they're going to give her in the first, no doubt about that. Like they're going to be jacked for this game as much as their physical body can do it. The question is, will Colorado be jacked for this game against Ottawa after coming off of a overtime win against Toronto? I'm almost leaning now towards Ottawa first period here. What does Ottawa play after this? Ottawa plays Toronto after this. Okay. Holy shit. Oh my God. I think it's just too overwhelming for them now. They took the losses. They're going to go up against Colorado. Give it a good go, but I think you got to take Colorado for sure. I know that. How juiced up is that going to be? Quite a bit, I imagine. No, they're almost begging you to take Colorado here. That's scary. Minus 124. They're begging you because Johansson's going to be in net. That's the reason. That's the reason. That's the reason. If Johansson is in net, this could be trouble. If Johansson is in net, this could be trouble. Because he is terrible. And Colorado will probably play defensive. That's a tougher game than I thought when I first looked at it. Trying to visualize here. They got spanked against Edmonton. Just spanked. Sogard is not good either. Ottawa's going to come out. Colorado's a better team, and I know they know that Ottawa's going to come out hard to begin with. Ottawa's coming off a road trip, 5 games in 8 nights. I'm pretty sure Colorado thinks that they can win it in the second and third if they can hold them off in the first. Question is, will they hold them off in the first? I think Ottawa first period. If Johansson's in net, the guy hasn't played in forever in the NHL. Ottawa's going to come out barreling. I think Ottawa first period is a good play here. And possibly both teams to score, because if Ottawa does score first, then Colorado should wake up and start pressing a little more. More interesting game than I thought. Okay, well, I spent a lot of time on that, so. As far as props are concerned, I mean, McKinnon didn't go over his shots last night, but he's in a much better spot here. I don't know. I think I would stay away from shot props here. Except for possibly Brady Tkachuk over shots, because he always goes over shots. It doesn't even matter what the situation is usually. Brady Tkachuk, yeah. Brady Tkachuk for a point. It's too juiced. What's his shots? Where's his shots? Are they not even giving you? Oh yeah, right here. Over 3.5 minus 130. Even in a bad game, he got over that against Edmonton. He went over against Vancouver. Seattle shut him down. Chicago didn't. Columbus, he went over. New York Rangers, he didn't. Detroit, Montreal. Colorado may be playing pretty defensive, but if Johansson's in net, they're going to want to get a lot of shots on goal. They're going to be throwing shots like crazy. Stutzla against McKinnon. Pinto. Rantanen on the outside. Nichushkin. Colorado props. I think Rodriguez, if you can get shots for him. Over 2.5 at minus 114. And he did not hit that yesterday against Toronto. But I think there's a much better chance he will do that against Ottawa. The last time he hit it was in LA, and he's been under every single time since then. Against San Jose. But they got him on the top line now, and he got 2 against Toronto. Something like that. Anyways, we got lots to look at here, so let's get to the next game. Boston, Winnipeg. I fade this game. This is a live game for sure. Boston is eating Winnipeg alive. Coming off that win against Chicago, I don't know. Is their pride going to kick in here? I think it might. Like, I know everybody's fading Boston right now because, they already clinched, and yes, there was good reason to. I took Detroit when the second game of the back-to-back there. I took Chicago plus 1.5. But this is a little different. Now you got the loss against Chicago. Boston's pride could kick in here. And they destroy Winnipeg all the time. And I don't trust Winnipeg. I don't trust Winnipeg. Isn't Winnipeg coming off a road trip too? Oh, that'd be beautiful if they are. Yeah, they're coming off an Eastern road trip right now. This is a one game on this road trip that I think I like Boston, and I think you're going to get better numbers on them now because than you were before. Minus 150 for a money line, sure, why not? I'll do that. Minus 150. They should put Allmark in net here. Are they looking ahead to anything? Boston, 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 Boston. We got Mini and then Buffalo. Yeah, they got a back-to-back coming up. I could see them like wasting that game. But I have a hard time seeing them. Like I can see losing to Chicago. Okay, you still have that residue of we clinched and all that kind of stuff like that. But it's something like you lose to like one of the worst teams in the league. We're the Boston Bruins still, right? Now you're going against Winnipeg, who's coming off Eastern road trip. How many days off have they had? 1 day off since the Carolina game, which they lost, right? I think the Bruins do this at minus 150. I don't know if I would do it in regulation, but I think they will. I think they'll want to win this one. Yeah, they lost, but they beat Tampa Bay. They beat Florida. They lost to Carolina. And I believe, didn't they have Rittich in that in there? Yeah. Come home after 1 day and they play Boston. I know they need to win, but when it comes to Winnipeg, I don't think it matters. They've been my sell team for a long time now. I know that they benched what's his name, benched the top line in that Carolina game for the last period. He benched the top line. And honestly, I don't think they respond back to that. I just don't. I could be wrong, but you're playing that many games on the road. How many games was that on the road, and how much have they played? If they're 4 games in 6, even more so. Yeah, 4 games in 6 nights. Travel all over the place. I like Boston. It's a terrible spot for Winnipeg. If you're going to give me 150 whatever with Boston against a team that is coming off, I don't trust, coming off a Eastern road trip back west, I'll take it. And I'll probably take the under. I think Boston will shut him down. Hellebuck will probably play well. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Okay, Dallas, Edmonton. I don't know why this is a 6.5, but it's Chiefs minus 130. I might get to a 7. I already took it at plus 6.5. As far as the matchup, I think I would take Edmonton. Again, it's just a scheduling spot for Dallas. This is that Western road trip. I faded them last game against Vancouver. You got they started in Buffalo. That was true. That the flight that the flying these guys did. They went from Dallas all the way to Buffalo, all the way to Seattle. Had a great win against Seattle. They carried that. And then the flight to Vancouver isn't very much, but after doing all of that flight, it's still a lot. That's the reason why I didn't like them. That's why I didn't like them against Vancouver. Yeah, Seattle, Vancouver, and now you're playing 3 games in 4 nights against one of the fastest teams in the league. Is Edmonton is what? Edmonton played Ottawa, beat Ottawa fairly handily. There's a lot of things I don't trust about Edmonton, but I think they got to win that game. I don't think Dallas can have the legs to keep up to their speed, playing 4 games in 6 nights and on a road trip like that. From Vancouver to Edmonton, they also go through a time zone change. And then they got Seattle after this again. No, that's Edmonton. Edmonton plays Seattle on the road after this. Okay. That I could see Seattle winning, by the way. But what does Dallas have after this? And Dallas still has to play Calgary after this. Holy shit, what a road trip. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely horrible. I think Dallas will definitely be putting everything they can in this game. I wouldn't be surprised. Calgary probably wins that game. Dallas might have a better chance at this one. Definitely in the first period. This is weird, but I would lean Dallas first period and Oilers game. Because, I mean, that's just a shitload of travel. But they got to want to win this one here. Because there's very little chance of winning the one against Calgary. Except for the fact that it's Calgary. That's the only reason why you might win that game. Because Calgary can shoot right at your goaltender all game. And so it's almost certainly going to be Ottinger, I would imagine. That's projected. Let's see. Stuart Skinner. Again. Not even trying Campbell anymore. Not even trying him. So I'm leaning the Oilers. It's just Dallas is. I gotta go the Oilers. That's just too much hockey, man. Too much hockey, and Dallas already has a spot. You know, they're definitely going to make the playoffs. The question is, how much do they want to stay in that number 1 spot? Because you got Minnesota right on your tail, and if Minnesota takes you over, guess what? You're up against Colorado, my friend, rather than Winnipeg. Could they fight hard enough to get a draw here? Could they fight hard enough to get a draw? Almost feels like that. Because they're going to exert all the energy they have in this game. I really do believe that. I don't think they're going to worry about either that or they mail this one in. They realize, look, we can't keep up with Edmonton's speed tonight. We got Calgary tomorrow. That could be too. I mean, Calgary's a very beatable team. That could be too. They could just realize early, oh shit, we can't keep up with them. We don't have the legs here. Let's get a rest. That probably would be the way I would do it if I was a coach, actually. I would put your backup in here, but they already played their backup against Vancouver. So it is going to be Ottinger. try to keep up with Edmonton the best you can. And then, take her easy down the stretch. Yeah, I think Edmonton wins this game. Okay. Took a while. That's why I do this. I talk everything through. It's a great way to talk everything through. Vancouver versus Arizona. I would, it's a Vancouver game. I'd go over still. I would still go over. But I'm not going to put a lot on it. Because Vancouver really is trying to not play over games, I think. But they're on a heater, and it appears that Tocchet has these guys convinced that it doesn't matter about draft pick or whatever the case may be. I mean, they have gone over the team total. Vancouver team total would be a good pick here. They just keep on going over it all the time. First game of a road trip. Arizona. See, yeah, they crushed St. Louis. They beat Nashville. And, Arizona's playing well. Arizona, but they've been outshot all the time. Arizona's getting outshot all the time. It's like goalie saves them palooza here. That's probably a pretty decent save prop to take whoever's going to be in net, which I believe it'll probably be Vejmelka. That's who's projected. But I think Vancouver in the end keeps it running. I'm going to go on the old adage that I've been doing all year. If a team comes and plays against the Coyotes and they're wanting to win that game, like what I mean by that is like there's no overlook. They're not going to take a break. They're not going to undervalue them. All of those sort of things like that. That's basically why the Coyotes win the game a lot of the time, is that they get undervalued. The Canucks here with Tocchet, they seem to be like saying we want to show our ownership that we want to be here. And they're playing like that. And I don't think they're going to take any team lightly, because the goal is to keep everybody, everybody wants to stay in Vancouver. We want to show that we have pride in this team and all that kind of stuff like that. So I like Vancouver on the money line here. I think you're getting a pretty nice number considering you got two teams on a bit of a roll, but it's minus 143. It was better than that before. It's a lot of money's coming in on Vancouver now. I should have got that in earlier. Geez, at that price, now you want to look at maybe Arizona winning this game, honestly. Maybe something, and maybe the spot will help me somehow. As Arizona they haven't played all that much hockey. Vancouver, both the same. First game of a road trip. They have LA next. Is that going to matter to them? Coming off a big win off of Dallas. Could this be a letdown spot for them? Could they be thinking too that they're that good? I think I'm going to lay this. I'm going to lay off this. I want to say Vancouver. I just want to say that they beat Dallas. They're going to keep on humming, keep on showing that they can win, keep this winning streak going, try to feel like the season. Like, I really think Tocchet thinks it matters more for Vancouver to believe in themselves than whether they get a draft pick. And losing to the Coyotes here after winning against Dallas, first game of a road trip, playing so good offensively. Demko and that, Melka. They're playing, the defense is terrible. Let's just go the over. I'm going to go the over. At the very least, with Arizona's defense, there's got to be goals here. And maybe Vancouver team total over. They're scoring on everybody right now. If they can score on Dallas and the other teams before this, they should be able to score on the Coyotes as well. So team total over for Vancouver and over game. That's what I'm going to do, I think. Vegas versus Calgary. I think Calgary wins this game, actually. Vegas is coming off an Eastern road trip. They did beat Philadelphia. They had a successful road trip. Everybody just, like, it's once a team gets off of a road trip like that, they all go take care. They all go take care of their families, you know. Especially when you had a good road trip, you like relax and, hey, we did great. No. And then you come in and now you got to play Calgary, who's desperate. Yeah, they're going to get shots on goal. I like Calgary first period, and I don't like taking Calgary at all. Like, never. If I'm taking Calgary, it's probably a good pick. I like Calgary first period for sure. I think Vegas will be Calgary first period on the money line, a minus 110 or whatever that is. I like that. As far as the total, I think you got to go under. Calgary can't score. They're going to shoot. Hill will probably be in net. He's not hurt, is he? Let me see something here. Find Josh Stone. Okay, nothing going on there. Just a gut feeling. It's a good spot for Calgary. Now, does Calgary lose in good spots? Oh yeah, for sure. You can't get a better spot to beat Vegas than this. Let's put it that way. If Calgary's going to beat Vegas, this is for sure the spot that they're going to beat Vegas. They just coming. Didn't they lose to Arizona? Yeah, they lost to Arizona. You got to win this game. Vegas has got to be discombobulated after coming to that Eastern road trip. They're pretty much set in their spot. And then they got Columbus after this. So if they lose, they can get 2 points against Columbus. You might want to play a draw with Calgary as well. Like, just throw a draw in there because Calgary's like a draw team all the shit. Even if they win it, it probably will be difficult. But I think I'm not going to put a lot on it because I don't trust Calgary, but I got to play spots, and that spot is Calgary all day. LA versus Columbus. I mean, this could be a letdown spot for LA. I mean, they've been rolling like crazy. Columbus played very well against San Jose that last game. And Goudreau looks like he's angry, I'll tell you right now. More angry than I've ever seen him. LA. They beat the Islanders 5-2. Yeah, they just beat the shit out of the Islanders. But see what they did here. They won against Winnipeg. Let's look at their game logs. It's better. I wish they would just show you the road and everything. You don't have to go into game logs every time you want to see if they're on the road or not. See, they went on that run where they beat Winnipeg, Montreal, St. Louis, which isn't much. At home against Washington. They quickly went on the road against Colorado, had that big win, and then had a letdown against Nashville. Now they beat the shit out of the Islanders. And they're chasing that number one spot against Vegas, right? 87, yeah. They need a couple wins on that one. I think they want it. I really think they want to win that division. But more than anything here, I'm pretty sure they're going to put Copley in. And I'm pretty sure, I think I actually saw it. If it's Michael Hutchinson and Copley, oh, and the Blue Jackets are on a back-to-back, the first part of a back-to-back. What's the next game they have? Anaheim. Oh, yeah. Okay, give me the Kings in regulation. Probably it's too juiced up to do it in regulation. If it is, then I'll probably just take the over. If Hutchinson's in net, Hutchinson net, I'll take team total over, even if it's juiced. Like, Hutchinson is absolutely brutal. He's brutal. Minus 269. What are we getting in reg? It's probably like minus 160 or something like that. No, not even. Like minus 150. It's like minus 170 in regulation each. Yeah. So you got to take it on the puck line. I would probably do it, though. I would probably take it on the puck line if Hutchinson in net. He just can't stop shots. I mean, can't stop pucks. Minus 120. And team total over. Oh. Oh, it's like so juiced. I'd almost go 4.5 even. If Hutchinson's in that, I would go 4.5. He's just too bad, and I mean, LA's been scoring the freaking lights out, except for that one game against Nashville. 5 against Colorado, 4 against Washington, 4 against St. Louis, 3 against Montreal, 6 against, like, they've been scoring like crazy, especially at home. I'd even go over 4.5. I think they'll score 5. But definitely over game, because I think Colorado will get a couple against Copley as well. And finally, Seattle versus San Jose. I like the over at minus 120. Seattle's been scoring a lot more. And I don't think you can go anywhere, but you got to take Seattle in regulation here. San Jose is just garbage now. Just garbage. They haven't won a game in forever. San Jose's coming off a loss. I mean, Seattle coming off a couple losses. Like, they want to save some face here, I imagine. They got to get back on the winning ways. And no better team to do that against than the San Jose Sharks, who are just absolute garbage. Over, Seattle team total over, Seattle first period minus 0.5, Seattle minus 1.5, Seattle regulation, everything Seattle, Seattle, Seattle. But the bad part about doing that is they've had one win. No, sorry, Seattle has what? 3 losses in a row. Yeah. And who do they got after this? Like, this is not, they're not, I can't see them overlooking San Jose here. Not on 3 losses in a row. When's the last time they lost 3 in a row? Yeah, I don't think they've lost 4 in a row all year. They haven't. Last time they did lose 3 in a row, it was on the road against, oh yeah, that was a tough road trip. They lost against San Jose last time they played them. Then they came home and lost to Boston, Toronto, and then beat St. Louis pretty well. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's one of those freaking sandwich games where you're going on the road and then going home against Edmonton after that. That's the only thing I don't like about it. And then going on the road for quite a long time after that, going up against Dallas again. It's not back to back. I've had 2 days off in San Jose. Yeah, I can't make a case for San Jose. So Seattle in regulation is my play, and probably over. They've been just outscoring everybody. San Jose has no defense, and team total over. All right. Well, that's my full 42. Thanks for whoever came in and watched. Like I said, I do this more for me than you. I find that when I go over the games like that and I speak out loud and do it, I've had people message me saying, why don't you prepare before the video? Because the video is my preparation. It's part of my preparation on how I do this. I do some preparation before, but I do these early, like kind of when I get up. And I find that I just cop better when I do it. So that's kind of the big reason why I do it. You get free picks. And I know it takes a while for me to get it all out there and say what I got to say. And honestly, I may not go with all these picks. I may not go with them. I may go a different direction down the road or whatever the case may be, but hopefully that helps you on your picks. And if you want all my picks, bpalpicks.com. That's my full 42. Talk to you guys all. What's tomorrow? No, I probably won't tomorrow. I'm going to see my daughter tomorrow. So I'll talk to you on Monday. Have a great day. That's